I'll just turn that off. Guys, welcome to Wednesday. How are you? My name is Ted, otherwise known as Escape Time. If you're here brand new or you're back for more, thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Or if you're watching in the near distant future on something like a post from Reddit or YouTube or I don't know. Welcome. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow. I don't know really what to say. If you're watching first time, we are a beer talk show on Twitch. We are live every Wednesdays at 8 p.m. like we are right now. Just future plug, one of those things. On the show, we have several different rules, so let's go over them real quick. No repeat beers. So everything we drink, we cannot repeat or review ever again. There's a list down in the profile panels, which I have not updated in 4 shows. So, I'll do that tomorrow. 5 shows. Why not? No mega breweries, anything to deal with, pretty much anything to deal with Budweiser or whatnot. Don't want to drink any of those. Show respect to the reviewers. It's their opinions, please. Make sure you don't abuse us for having an opinion you disagree with. If you want to tell us your opinion, that's fine. We may not agree. That's okay. Most importantly, have fun and a beer, because that's why we're here to drink. And I wouldn't have it any other way. With me tonight, my man Drew Ratchesphere. How are you, sir?
I am doing good. I am ready for this beer. Had a long day.
Yeah, I've been waiting to drink this for a while. I actually started drinking this the other day. So I decided, well, screw it. I had 2 last night. I think I got this one kind of hands down on it, but it's we'll get that to in a second. Mm-hmm. Real quick, so I wanted to say something. We talked about this though, but I think what we're going to be doing is be setting up a website for everything. Ted's been waiting to drink since last Wednesday. I've been waiting to drink since last night, when I had my last drink at around midnight. So, yes. No, but I think what we're gonna be doing is we're converting our Discord into a universal Discord for Ratchsphere, for me, and any other creative people who ever want to join in. I guess it's just kind of there. But we're going to be calling it the Hop and Kettle, I think. Do you like that name still?
I like it.
All right.
It's very specific, but yet universal enough to be sort of group in cooking.
Yep.
And with cooking, you can sort of squeeze in some gardening kind of stuff too if you need to.
Yeah. And I mean, it could just be. It's just something for anybody who likes drinking and beer and whatever and food. Really, what it comes down to. But the interesting part about it is I actually, and again, I was telling you this earlier this week. I used to run a site called the Hop and Kettle, and it was a beer review and food show. This was about 7 years ago, and it's a really good way for me to use the IP that I had and rebrand it into something that we can. The Hop and Kettle. If you don't open a pub that name, I disown both of you. That's why I created the name.
Yeah,
Toaster.
It's locked in.
It was right there. I was just like, this sounds like a awesome fucking British pub.
Like pub brewery name.
Oh yeah, exactly. So that's gonna be the name. We're gonna be changing the name of our Discord, and also going to be bringing up a website that is going to be a kind of like a companion to it, because I kind of find that a lot of the people who come and watch us are not gamers. Toaster, you're an exception, obviously. Green Giant, I don't know if you're a gamer, but a lot of people aren't, so they don't really know. And Drew, you're obviously a gamer, but a lot of people don't know about Discord, or what am I joining in here, right? So I think kind of feel like if we had something that was a website that was able to you can put highlights up on, I could put highlights up on, kind of a blog style type thing. I'm like the one non-drinker that comes here. You drink mead. That's true. I've seen you drink mead.
And you review mead, and
yes, so you are a drinker.
You sprechen the alcohol review.
Yes, it was the animated toaster.
Yes, that's right. So
Very
good.
awesome.
So good.
Games of beer. What an evening. Sometimes that is all I really want to do.
It's
I'm not
usually
gonna
what I
lie.
do most nights.
I wish I had that
No, I don't.
the capability to do that.
But not my liver.
Yeah, well,
I'm probably catching up to you pretty quick.
I don't really need my liver. It's only secondary. It could be
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably. Oh, and by the way, I've decided that the beer review name is just going to be called.
It's a drum roll, by the way.
It's really not that exciting. By
Okay.
the way, I just really just took off just, and now it's just called Under the Suds, the beer reviews. So
Okay.
yeah,
Solid.
solid. It's exactly to the point what it is. I actually
Yeah.
started posting stuff on Reddit. I don't really know what that's gonna do,
We'll
but
see.
we'll see. Yeah, last week was the first time I did it. I'm gonna continue on. And amazing. This is actually episode 31.
Whoo-wee.
I know. We're getting there. We're
Getting
getting
close
up
to the
there.
year mark.
Wow, I know. November's coming up soon enough. I don't want to get past my summer just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Can I come back on the show and just play put a Skyrim gameplay in a camera box, just have my character get shit faced? For you, yes.
Well, he played Overwatch while he reviewed his beer.
I know. Yeah, it's funny.
We didn't know until afterwards. So
It was pretty awesome.
Easy
All right.
turn on the toaster.
Speaking of beer reviews, let's get to the beer reviews. Drew,
Mhm.
you seem like you need a beer, so how about you go first?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for signing it. All right. All set. We're good.
Yes, we are all set. So,
Alrighty, I'm doing something a little different this week. Something new and different. Instead of doing an IPA or a beer from Vermont, which I've done for 3 months now, probably straight.
you,
Um,
you have the market on it, except for Steve. He's kind of been like toe to toe with you.
yeah, he has been actually. He's had those beers for like a while. Like his friends, like he went up there once, like months ago. He's still pulling out beers from it. It's
Oh
insane.
yeah. I saw
But-
he gave me a 4-pack of the stuff from the Alchemist, and I have it in
crap.
my basement. I still haven't gone through it yet.
Oh man, but this week I'm gonna be doing a beer from another big, I guess beer state would be Colorado. It's going to be from New Belgium. It's from their Lips of Faith series. It's Clutch. I believe it's their sour series.
Mhm.
This one is a wood aged imperial stout.
Oh,
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've seen it listed 3 different ways. I saw it listed. I did check it online earlier. It said American Wild Ale. It said dark American Sour Ale, but bottle itself says wood aged imperial sour stout. Holy crap!
wow.
Yeah. I had their other series. I forget what it's called. Some big old French name. But that was extremely puckery. I believe this is the base beer for it. They brewed this beer first, and then the yeast cake and sort of bacteria sourness cake goes into this next beer that they made. And that was off the wall sour. So I imagine this is going to be a little less than that, but also sort of more roastier. Thank you for that shout out.
Oh, I screwed it all up though. By the way, I absolutely.
It's
had
fine.
The @ sign in front of it, so no wonder.
Ooh.
I'll fix it.
For being a quote unquote sour beer, the smell, not sour at all. I get big chocolate off of, it goes chocolate, coffee, vanilla. Oh, sorry, this is a, oh no, I thought this was a different beer. It's either going to be this beer or it's going to be Cascade Brewing Company in Portland, Oregon. It was going to be a strawberry lambic with vanilla bean in it.
That sounds fantastic.
But that was also $20. I didn't want to deal with that. This is 12, so go for it. But the stout, once again, big chocolate, big coffee, kind of. I'm trying to get like the sour smell. Usually these sour ales have a certain like green apple tart smell to it. I'm not getting a whole lot of that. I'm getting a lot of vanilla, getting a lot of very creamy, sort of creamy chocolate, sort of milkshakey smell. maybe I'm getting like a dark chocolate, black coffee, roasty bitterness, which could be the sort of the sour note.
Hmm.
Let's take a look at it. I got my, of course, Long Trail glass. Vermont shout out. Ooh, color is oh so dark.
It's labeled as American Wild Ale, but I mean it is basically a sour stout, right? I mean,
Yeah, it smells like a stout, big time. Once again, no sour smell at all, which is very surprising. That's usually kind of very much on point. I can't see through it at all. The only the color I can see is the very bottom when I'm looking through the bottom of the glass, not through the glass. So very thick. Aroma, no difference. Head about I don't know half-inch thick. Some lacing there, which just is which basically the bubbles that sticks inside the glass. That usually sort of gives you a tell or a sign of the viscosity of the beer, like how the texture is going to be and the amount of alcohol kind of contribute to that. This one at 8.5% alcohol, you'll sort of get sort of those bubbles sticking to the side when you pull it down. You'll see it sort of lace out like that.
yeah, wine does the same thing. You see,
Mm.
wine with a very high sugar content or alcohol content has that
Mhm.
very like potent lacing on it. If you get a cheap
Yep.
wine, it just flows off like water. But
Mhm.
same thing
It
with the
also
bubbles, though.
It also, to sort of go out to the wine side of things, it's also tannins take a huge effect into lacing,
Mm-hmm.
which wine is very much known for. But more like these sour ales or sort of Belgian ales, you get sort of the tannic flavor, which is kind of like a steeped tea bitterness to almost, it's like a sharp, dry, over steeped tea kind of flavor. If I had to sort of bring up a character best describing what tannins is. But all right, big old taste test. Here we go. Woo!
Whoa.
Yeah, that was up front. Okay, not that sour. I just went down the wrong pipe. For being a sour stout, it's not that strong at all. I was thinking it's going to be like completely different. It's very smooth, actually. Um, the sort of sourness does blend in very well with the dark chocolate, like almost like a black chocolate tartness or bitterness.
Okay.
Second sip, you can kind of get that very sort of. I guess you can now sort of pick up more of the sour notes. It sort of sits in the back of your tongue, kind of dries you out pretty quick, and leaves your mouth kind of watering because it's that sort of sharp note that sits right sort of here. Um, but I'm not getting any weird. I guess one descriptor for a sour ale is a barnyard flavor. It's very musky, very sort of horse blanket is another term. That's usually described. That's best to describe this very sort of deep, earthy tone, I guess, that comes from this bacteria. And I'm not getting a whole lot of that. I think that sort of gets lost in the um, with that sort of stout flavor, the coffee and chocolate that sort of masks that, which is nice. Because I don't think I would want that in a stout because that would kind of like mask over what you would think it to be or want it to be.
Right.
No hop character. I looked up online somewhere on their website. Here it is. Let me go ahead and post this in chat. This is where I got my info. This is
Aaron, Sammy, thank you for those hosts. I do appreciate that.
the here we go. IBUs is 17, which is roughly the amount of IBUs you get in a say a Hefeweizen, which is not really like a level you can really taste a hop. You kind of can. You can get sort of late bitterness, but the flavor of the yeast will overpower that 17 IBU. Calories 260. Hey now, how about that? Yeah, hops are Nugget. Nugget is a very I guess it's a well-versed hop. You can use it for bittering as well as aroma. But I imagine with a beer like this, they use it just for bittering because you don't want a whole lot of a nugget, which is sort of a earthier, pinier, almost dark fruit flavored hop, which I guess would blend in well once again with the coffee and chocolate flavor. Sort of those darker, richer sort of dates, raisin kind of flavor. They said this beer was soured Oscar. I guess Oscar is a beer that New Belgium makes.
Yeah,
So
I don't
it's a
really
base
know.
beer.
I haven't. I have a little grievance against them, so I kind of stay away from their beers. But
Sure.
you know,
But so they took I guess Oscar there as this base stout, and then they soured it,
okay.
and then they take this beer and they blend it with something else to make the Foley,
Oh,
which is that I can bring up later the beer that's best represented for Colorado this year.
oh,
But let's go back to over here. Anything comes up again. So after now getting used to the sort of flavor, your mouth is now sort of ready for all the sourness to come through. Your tongue doesn't really detect much of the stout flavors anymore. I had a lot of sweet chocolate, coffee, sort of vanilla notes. Those are all sort of subsided, and my tongue sort of now, I don't know, it seems more used to all the flavors, but it's sort of picking up more of the subtle nuances of the sourness. So I'm getting more of these sort of richer fruit flavors. I'm getting, of course, that sharp sour green apple kind of flavor that comes along with this. But I'm getting kind of like a pruny aftertaste, which is kind of something you would find like in a barley wine. You get like such a rich maltiness that almost comes up as a dark fruit molassesy
ooh,
thing to it, which is nice because I think that's what's kind of needed for this beer because you go very sort of your chocolate coffee flavors. It's very almost like having a candy bar. It's very sweet too, which is nice, which is sort of balanced out by this a sharp cut of this sour flavor. But that goes away quick. It doesn't stay in your tongue and just like, hey, your tongue's now sour. You just had like a Sour Patch Kid, which was going to ruin your day. It sort of melts away into this sort of warming prune flavor. That's, I guess, also a part of this 8.5% alcohol, sort of warming the tongue, warming your sort of chest and sort of throat as you swallow it. But it isn't like all up in your face and it's gonna be long lasting. It's kind of fading away. It's sort of I can still taste it, it's still like there, but it's not like feel like I'm breathing into my own face. It's
oh
like
man,
like when you like a really hoppy beer and you feel like it's still in your mouth forever, like those like I don't know, a really bad IPA. But because I've had some bad IPAs that they sort of sit here and it's so thick that it feels like when you exhale, you're just smelling the aroma from the hops and just sticks there forever and ever and ever.
oh god.
But this one, so
it's
yeah,
not good at all.
this one kind of fades out nicely and sort of more gradual. Rating this beer though. This beer sits. I think it's a 750. I think no, yeah, 750 milliliter bottle for I think $16 for
Not bad.
yeah for 8.5% alcohol. And I really like sour beers, and this is sort of lower on the sour scale. So I would give it a 4. I really like it. I like dark sours because it's such a weird complexity of flavors.
Yeah, because you're not expecting it. You look at it, you're like, oh,
Oh, okay, it's going to be something thick and sweet. While
right.
usually sour beers are a lot lighter in and like flavor and texture. But I would definitely buy this again. I recommend it for anyone who wants to try a sour beer. It's not that sour. It's noticeable. You can tell like, oh, that's a new flavor I've never had in a beer before. But it's not like, holy crap, that's all I taste. It doesn't make you want like, okay, this beer's gone bad. This is like it's well balanced to like it helps out the stout side of this beer and that sort of dark fruit, sort of heavy alcohol warmthness to it. And so I think it's pretty well balanced. I wouldn't change anything to it. I don't know what would make it a 5. Maybe it's a little cooler. But I really enjoy it. I'm probably gonna go back and probably buy another one tomorrow.
Because it's part of their series, right? So it's a limited release, I think, isn't it?
Yep. And this beer would probably be amazing if you sell it
Oh,
for about a year or so.
yeah. The like I said, notes of it would definitely just change completely.
And
Um,
I think what would change if you aged it out, the chocolate and coffee notes would probably subside a little bit.
right.
There is that very sort of black or dark chocolate up front that goes into a coffee, but there's a bitterness in there that would fade away, I think, over time and sort of blend into that next flavor more easily.
Hmm.
But I think I will probably get another one and age it out.
And I'm going to Colorado in August. So, but we do get
Okay.
New Belgium out here in Pennsylvania. But I'll have to look for that one.
Hmm.
I think I. You said there was another Lips of Faith, right? So I can't remember what
Yep.
the name of it was, but um, yeah, I don't, no idea. But I think I may have had that, or at least seen it. I don't know. It's been sometimes shit gets hazy. You just can't remember the next day what happened the day before.
You'll have that.
Yeah, it's old age. It happens to everybody, I guess.
I can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait.
Hmm. Look forward to.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna jump in there and do the beer because my office is an absolute furnace. Don't know
Mm.
why it's an absolute furnace, but it is bloody hot as hell in here. So this is gonna be a refreshing treat for me. So if you're local to Pennsylvania, this is actually available where we are. Green Giant, you'll be able to find it in this area if you want to look for a New England IPA. This is by Thomas Hooker. This is probably Thomas Hooker Brewery. First beer I've ever had out of them that I'm aware of. They're out of Bloomfield, Connecticut, and this is a New England style IPA, which to me, Hooker, yes, Thomas's Hookers. Oh man. So, but it's called No Filter, and what we're seeing, and I want to go into that a little bit. Your first hooker, I've never needed one. Thank you, TJ. Boom, boom.
Nice.
So, and with that, this is
Transition.
transition. Not a good transition, but still a transition.
Right.
There's a lot of New England IPAs coming out in the last few months. Even well, then, hey, yeah, a little sure of myself there. So,
You didn't drink a beer yet.
I didn't even drink it. It's just it is what it is. It's my humor after work. So, anyway, this is a New England IPA. This is gonna be super hazy.
That's
Thank
not
you for-
hazy. That's straight up milky.
Yeah, that's yeah. Seriously, it does look like. It looks like it's like someone poured orange juice in a glass, a very weak looking orange juice. And thank you for the bad joke, TJ. I think that one definitely deserved it. The head is on the first pour obviously is a little bit. There's not. It's not because there's a lot of carbonation, and this is not the first time I had this beer. I bought this the other day, and I was testing out because I was like, you know what, I just really want to fucking drink it.
So what you tell yourself? You're testing it out. I gotta test out this beer.
I gotta test it, yeah, because
Yeah,
I
sure.
would feel bad if I'm not giving it my all if I don't at least test it beforehand. Sometimes it's cool to do those
Maybe
blind
two tests. Yeah, I gotta do it twice.
but this was one of those things I just it's for science. Exactly, Rick. I do it. So I'm gonna get the rest of it in there. And on the bottom of this can, there is so much. It's how
Yeast.
us lions do it. Yes, very true. All right. There's so much yeast in there. You can see some of the chunks in the bottom of it.
Oh yeah, that B vitamins though.
Exactly. This uses mosaic and citra hops. An abundant quality of mosaic and citra hops make this unfiltered IPA explode with tropical fruit juice aroma. So, I mean, right off the bat, you get like oranges, but you kind of smell like a little bit of a passion fruit to it as well.
Okay.
What I
That's
really would like to do
mosaic.
is kind of do like a side by side with some of the other like uh, New England IPAs that we can get down here, or that we've ported down here. Or Swig said he had a mule drag up and get him Trillium for the first time. So you can see on the bottom. Look at
Oh, nice.
yeah. Look at all that stuff.
That's good.
Um,
That's texture, is what you call that.
that's, that's good eating.
That's right. Canned mermat.
So it is very citrusy. I get more like surprisingly like a kiwi.
Okay.
When you bite into a kiwi, it's a not sour, but it's got
Almost
this
there.
juicy, and I fucking hate using the word juicy with these beers, but
But that's like the number one descriptor for a New England IPA.
I know, and that it
Something
is
there.
it is the number one descriptor for it, but it's still it there's no other way around it. There's a really subtle flavor in here. The passion fruit, which you smell on the aroma in this, it comes through in the. But I want it to be juicy. Oh, it is.
It is.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I just hate it as a descriptor. I really do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it annoys me like when you say the word panties to my wife. She hates the word panties, and I don't really understand why. I think it's a interesting word, but obviously, but like to me,
But
here's what really pissed. This is why. All right, fucking squirrel moment.
No good. Get away from that. Get away from
Come on. But you know what makes me mad? Those goddamn clothes women wore that had the juicy clothing line, and I think that's one of the reasons why I fucking hate the word.
It probably killed it for you.
It's one of those things. It's like, why do you have sweatpants on, and you call them juicy? You're just wearing sweatpants. That's it. With words on your ass.
And you don't want juicy to be a descriptor of sweatpants. Those sweatpants are juicy. Gross.
What's is screwed up is like some parents will put their kids in that, like their daughters, and I'm like,
no.
Anyway, my rant. This beer is juicy, by the way. But it's
like sweatpants.
Like sweatpants. Ew.
Gross. Yep. See what I did? I ruined it for you. Enjoy that beer.
Well, no, this beer is fantastic.
Okay.
I already know about it.
All right.
It comes in at about 7%. Like I said, you can't see through this goddamn thing at all. I mean, this is cloudy beyond belief. I bought a 6-pack of it. Comes in 6-packs here, and this is a new release for Thomas Hooker. They have a few other beers, and again, I can't remember any of the other beers that they've ever had. I've ever had from them. So they, I'm sure they're around here, but I've never had any of their other beers. So if you ever watch Thomas Hooker, cheers to you. I'm a big fan. I'm gonna go and try your other shit. There's a little bit more descriptive on the back here. Mosaic and citric hops. Heavy on aromatics, but light on bitters. There is absolutely no bitterness in this whatsoever. This brew is a true New England IPA. And Connecticut is in the New England area, right?
Yeah, it just makes it. It's close.
Yeah. So it is a traditional New England IPA. Being in that same area that all of these great styles are coming out of for New England IPAs. But it's the Thomas Hooker, this one, I was just glad. I saw this. I was at my local beer shop, and I was talking to the guy who I talk to all constantly. I would say, yes, it is New England, definitely. And he said, try this. Because I was talking about my backup beer with him, The Juice by Peak Organic.
Nice.
And this is also a very good pale ale, which one day I may review or not, but we haven't been using these as backup beers or just anything really just to drink. This one just came out in PA. It was just distributed here. But it is new for their lineup. So no filter, Thomas Hooker. Like I said, it has some very citrusy, passion fruit, even borderline kiwi going on in the flavor. Passion fruit and more like orange on the aroma. At 7.7%, this thing is phenomenal. I rarely go above like 4 when I'm rating any beers, but I would have to give this a 4.5.
Ooh, damn.
4.5 caps. And it's not only because it's one of the only New England IPAs that I can get down here.
Yeah.
But wow, 4.5. It's worth a try. I would say go out and find it if you can't. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna keep this to a minimum of the talk about it. But there are several other breweries we'll get to that are actually producing this in the local area here in Pennsylvania, and one big giant brewery who just tipped their hat, and their 21st anniversary beer. Is going to be coming out in August, but we'll get to that in a second. So, like I said, this is definitely a 4.5 for me. Thomas Hooker, no filter English IPA. Since my new passion for IPAs are these New England style, I'm just glad I'm able to find it here in Pennsylvania. I don't know where they distribute to. I can look it up. Maybe I can put it in the chat a little later, or a beer locator. Hold on here. Well, they don't really. Beer sold in Connecticut, Mass, and PA. So they only distribute to 3 states. MA is Massachusetts, right? Yeah. So,
correct.
All right. I always get that and Maine confused, and it's like ME, right?
It's
so
ME.
Yeah. So they only distribute to Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania. So you can't get it in Vermont. But what I'll do, Drew, is when I get your package of all your beer that you're sending me, I will pack some up and send it off to you so you can try it out as well.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely worth trying if you get a chance to go find this, if you're local to the area, or if we end up. I think I've been saying this for a goddamn long time. And Joe, thank you for being here tonight, because I reached out to Joe and I was like, my man seems to have a beer trade going on already, so he looks like he's an expert getting all these awesome beers from people. So, between Drew and I and Joe, we're gonna see if we're gonna get some something set up for the beer trade using that app. So I need to sit down and just kind of talk to the 3 of you guys and anybody else. If you have any suggestions, I think we're gonna focus a show on just the beer trade to get ideas from you guys, how you want to run it, what's the expectations, and I'm going to get Chris, who is one of the developers of the app, I want to use the Beer Exchange app, on to talk to us about the app and how they're using it. Hell yeah, I know a thing or two. Well, that's why I told you, man. You look all the beers. Anybody really just needs to check out Joe's Instagram, which is I'm absolutely jealous by all the shit that I see on there. So, but yeah, it's definitely one of those things. All right, before we forget, let's do that word of the week. I'll switch my camera for some reason. It's all sort of wonky when I switch screens. I'll have to fix that. All right, beer off here. Drum roll, please. And this week's word of the week is, I can't hit the button properly, Mosaic hops.
Hey.
Mosaic hops, which is also one of the hops that were in this beer, by the way. Citra and Mosaic. Also known as brand HBC 369 CV, is a daughter of, oh my god, these hop variety names are just absolutely ridiculous. YCR 12 CV and the Nugget derivative male. It's high alpha acids, tropical fruit, and blueberry and tangerine florals and earthy aromas. So if you ever have a Mosaic style of beer that's hopped with Mosaic, you should expect that type of tropical, citrusy, floral, earthy. I don't taste blueberry in this, by the way. But
it's a blueberry aroma. It might smell like blueberries.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's a said.
Oh, well, then I'll have to go check that out. I wonder if I could grow this in my backyard.
Probably. Hops can usually grow in any climate, but I think they said Mosaic is a derivative of Nugget, and Nugget is very, very
versatile.
Yeah,
it's very hardy.
Mm.
So I kind of led to it. Mosaic is Bay. There was a beer.
Vegas Bay.
There was a beer that our friend who runs Russell Phillips, who was on the show way back in the thing. If you want to look for it, he actually runs. It was an interview with him. We did an episode of Under Suds together about craftcans.com, the site he used. He runs, but he was drinking a Mosaic beer. I can't remember what it's from, but you can go back and look, or even in the panels below that beer list. If you look for Russell Phillips, you'll see his name and then the beer he drank. But it was a fantastic. I think it was a New England style, also, if I'm not mistaken.
Joe, there's a hop variety called Victoria's Secret. That's awesome.
Vic's Secret? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
That's fucking genius.
That's awesome.
Is it silky?
Nice.
Sorry.
Nice.
Bad joke.
No, it also had some good lace to the beer too.
It definitely has some good lace to the beer. Hey,
That's right.
good lace and silky. Heck of a hop variety there. A little bit painful when you wrap the binds around you, but hey.
Hey, if you're into it.
Yeah, well, who knows?
Yeah.
If no one knows about hop, if you ever grown hops, fucking puns. Yes, that's right. So hop binds are very fucking prickly. You rub against them, and they actually leave an abrasion.
It's not like thorns, but it's close to it.
Yeah, my wife she's been attacked by them and come away
They're
with like
serrated.
Yeah, it seriously looks like a ninja came by and just went with like razor blades.
You know, like in the first Spider-Man with what's his name? But he looks at his fingers and you see the little hairs that like point backwards. It looks like that.
Yeah. They're but I would never want to wrap any body part of mine with with hops.
I mean, you'll smell great, but no thank you.
You would, but I'll just wait for your hop variety beer bomb, and
that's right. Oh yeah.
And then I'll smell like hops and get pulled over and be like, "Sir, you kind of smell like beer."
Yeah. Shout out. We're gonna be in Etsy soon, at some point.
See, I'm glad you're doing that. I think that's a fantastic idea, by the way.
Yeah, it was also our this is mathematics, but it's our Twitch business card when we go to like PAX or conventions.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was great. That bouncer at that bar was real pumped about it.
Oh yeah, he was stoked.
He said he had no idea what we're doing. Like, oh, it's Twitch. Oh no, don't worry about it. But here's a tin of beard balm. What do I do with this? You have a beard. Put it in your
beard, and it smells like hops.
Yeah, it moisturizes it and makes it less puby.
I don't have that problem. Okay. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to. I've never tried out this stuff. I didn't even get one when I was with you. You ran out. Wait.
I know. Yeah,
super quick.
So. Myth was grabbing handfuls. I'll be right back.
It was a hell of a business card, though. It beats mine, though. I mean, come on. Mine's pretty cool, but it's, you have something you can use, right? So that's awesome. I'm gonna grow my stash back and use that and smell delicious. I think you would definitely attract the ladies with that. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But all right. Before we get any further down to beard bomb history.
Yeah.
I was talking when I was reviewing beer. I did mention a few things. There are several breweries by me who are actually going to be, are in the process or have brewed New England style IPAs. The Chamonix Creek Brewing Company is one of them. It was like the Shapes of Haze to Come. They sold out within like 10 minutes of all the beer, and I saw a can of it. My friend gave it, had it. My friend Tim, who's a bartender at Isaac's, he had it there. I was staring at it. I asked him, "Hey, can I have this for the show?" He's like, "Fuck you." But the worst part about it is I'm not gonna be here next week, and they're gonna have a fucking keg of it on at Isaac's for Philly Beer Week.
Oh man,
and I'm gonna miss the entire goddamn thing. So. But also, River Horse Brewing Company, who we did a live brewery tour, and also we just kind of hung out there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the Real Clone, what is up? How are you? Yeah, they are actually doing a New England style IPA as well. It's going to be releasing next month,
okay.
And I think it is if you have a Wegmans by you, it is a Wegmans exclusive. It's a grocery store. I'm not sure if it's just in this area. Yes, it's going to be a Wegmans exclusive for a while because they're paying for the canning and the label, but it's a New England style IPA.
Sweet.
That they're going to be selling at Wegmans. And I'm going to get Brad, my friend, who's hanging out with us at the brewery, to snag me a few so I can have
Sweet.
it. Yeah, I'm excited about that. My friend is... Oh, really? Nice. Go check them out if you've never been there, Rick. It's a fantastic place. And also, for Stone Brewing Company's 21st anniversary, they are brewing a New England IPA. And it's going to be released in August of obviously this year. So I have a question. What do you think of American beer culture is like compared to elsewhere in the world?
Hard telling, not knowing. Haven't left the U.S.
You're from Ireland, by the way. One of my I'm a mutt, but one of my I'm mostly Irish. If you can't tell by the complexion and the fact that
I'm a fourth Irish.
Burn, but I would say American beer culture has a lot more varieties and a lot more breweries to take risks.
Yes.
With styles and trying to create new things that have never been done before.
New things in beer. I got a segue for that.
Right. So comparatively to other countries who like, there was an article I was reading today, which I don't think we're gonna bring up, but that Germany was starting to do their pubs, their like brew pubs that are popping up in Germany that are doing craft beer. Is that also because they're being influenced by Stone Brewing Company building a brewery over in Berlin? Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
But, I think that European countries have always had a creative way to it and different varieties. But the United States over the last decade has caught up and is really, leading the inspiration for trying to do new and innovative beers. So that is, hopefully that answers your question. I'm not sure. And we're mostly known for Guinness and Jameson, lesser for craft beers. But you know what? I think every country has like some small brewer that could be, not so necessarily considered craft, but there are, even in England, and I'm sure Ireland as well, right? There are breweries all over, and they all have their own special recipe. Would you consider that craft? I don't know, possibly, but I think that I think Joe really has a spot on there. American beer culture is definitely leading that way, as far as interesting different varieties of beer. Like if you had told me that I'd be loving a glass of citrusy, hoppy, yeasty IPA a few years ago when IPAs were first going, I was like, why would I drink that? It's like I'm drinking orange juice.
Yeah, that beer's not done yet. Why is there so much yeast in it?
I know, seriously. Although, I mean, and look at that.
I mean, seriously though. Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking yeast at the bottom.
Like the way I would think of it is basing the beer off sort of the hop varieties in our areas.
Yeah.
You have the noble hops in Europe, sort of your traditional hop, one of the more traditional hops. You have your Czech Saaz, your Fuggles, your Tettnang, your Hirschbacher. Those are all sort of your, based malts for these typical beers, for your Pilsners, your Lambics, your Marzen and like Munich ales, where all those, I think besides the Marzen, are named after towns and countries.
Yeah.
Lambic, Belgian, Czech Saaz, which is a hop, and isn't Pilsen? Isn't Pilsen a town in Czechoslovakia?
I have no idea. Maybe. I
think so, but well, I could be lying. I'm American. I don't know shit about the shit. But it's like, those locations, and sort of Europe, not knowing Europe, once again, assuming shit, seem very traditional about their beers. Um, Sort of, not saying they're not open minded, but like they're so used to these styles that it's become such a beautiful thing. Like,
Yeah, but
um,
Europe has, like, they had multiple styles, right?
yeah,
I
oh yeah,
mean,
for sure.
tons of different styles. I mean, Belgium itself has, like, I don't know how many styles they have.
A crap load.
A shit ton,
Like
right?
the majority of beer styles come out of Belgium. Yeah,
But I mean, seeing the beer culture in Europe, I
yeah,
think it inspired the American homebrewers to start breweries and try
sure.
experimenting.
Yeah,
But I think we've gone past that point where, like I said, where now we are the ones who are kind of like innovating the beer styles.
okay,
Some of these
yeah.
beers are just. My friends from Europe, they taste it and they're like, "Wow, what the fuck did I just drink?"
Yeah, what do you do?
I mean, Sathros, my friend Sathros was here for PAX East,
Mm-hmm.
and he's from Norway, and hopefully he's sleeping right now. My man, his sleep schedule is completely off. But love the guy. Great. We
Mm-hmm.
were drinking beer, and I sent him home with some American style beers.
Mm-hmm.
That I thought he would like. So this is the way it's done, and I think they've done it the way for so long. It's hard to drift onto new things. Yeah, but that's an older generation thought, right? I mean, like,
Sure.
there are up and coming brewers in. Look at the guys from Brewdog
Yeah.
in Scotland. Hands down, geniuses when it comes to brewing. You
Like,
know,
yeah, out of left field too.
and they went and took the whole craft from and they're opening a hotel in Ohio in the United States.
That's right. I
A
remember
beer
that.
hotel with sour beers. It's a sour beer hotel.
Yeah, this beer
Yeah.
everywhere.
Eh,
Oh
and
man,
I
I
think
want to
you
go.
actually can have fucking taps in your room.
You can have taps on your hot tub
What?
in the spa. That would smell horrible, but it'd be okay. It's
Whatever,
like a
man.
really warm brewery.
Yes, a hotel in Ohio, if
I'll
I'm
look it
not
up again.
mistaken, Rick. So
I'm
I
on it.
mean, definitely look up BrewDog. They recently started open a brewer in the United States and a hotel along with it. If you don't know about them, but I mean, they're a great fine example of like the younger brewer
Hmm.
who are in Europe, who have taken these the beer to a different level in Europe. It is amazing what they do, and I'm so glad they've come to the United States. They are. If I could ever shake their hand, I wouldn't. I don't really get shell shocked or like excited when I see celebrities that much. But man, I would love to meet those guys.
Well,
You
fucking
know.
beer celebrities. I don't know. You have to go find Jim Cook.
Well, that was a random
That was,
mishap there.
yeah, right. The first night you're there. God damn it.
It was pretty cool. I've told the story before, but when I was at PAX East with Drew and a bunch of other guys from CMS,
Hmm.
right? I ran into Jim Cook, who is the owner of Samuel Adams. So it was cool to run into him. I didn't want to be an asshole and take a picture with him. Really wish on the retrospect that I had.
Of course.
But Kex Brewery in Iceland. Yes. That I don't think I've ever had that, but I've had Eisenbach. I think it's another Iceland brewery. I may have actually reviewed one of their beers once before. I have to look back. We are way into the almost 100 beers that we've reviewed. By the way,
Wow.
yeah. And I'm going to be super disappointed, by the way, if we have passed that mark and haven't had a chance to celebrate it because I
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention and I didn't keep track of it accurately. But it's probably going to happen. So, yeah. So, but I do think that Europeans are definitely going to be coming on board with more craft breweries, like the article suggested in Germany.
Hmm.
a lot of craft breweries are starting to pop up in Germany, who don't, apply to the traditional law of brewing that Germany created centuries ago.
Yeah.
So, but I do think other breweries, other young brewers are going to come up and start places that are going to have that, like the guys from Brewdog. So, I'm just getting all that yeasty goodness.
Oh, nice.
Vitamin B. I definitely don't lack vitamin B.
No.
In my life. It's definitely not that. So, all right. Let me crack this one open real fast. I'm not doing a second review. I'm just pouring this one. This is by the way, this is the Peak Organic I mentioned earlier. It's called the Juice. It is a wickedly dry hopped pale ale, and this is absolutely fantastic. By the way, I am super excited. It's not as cloudy as actually all that yeast in the bottom is probably gonna make the next pint half of that cloudy. But have you guys ever heard of? Was that a Shatner pause?
Yeah, so. To build suspense.
Thank you.
Exactly. I got it.
All right, so
I'm hanging off it right now. I'm waiting for it.
So speaking of craft breweries, Killinger Rust Bucket.
Google.
I know. That's what I'm trying to find my mouse pointer. I haven't drank that much yet, but
no, I have not. Right off the bat, but let me take a look at it. Maybe it's a beer I've seen.
It's a beer I've never heard of before. But you know what?
Wait.
They don't even have a goddamn picture of it.
I have. Someone I met.
I haven't had this.
I never had it. I know someone in Discord from one of my past MMOs I played in. We talked about beer, and he brought me some.
That looks good. No, I have not had that one. Is that also a beer from Ireland, or? Damn ads. I know, right? Goddamn ads.
They watch those ads, give them bits.
Well, you know what? If you have Twitch, if you have Amazon Prime, and actually I don't know if they have Amazon Prime over in, I think they do in Ireland. If you have Amazon Prime, you can always link it to your Twitch account. There's a little PSA. Link it to your Twitch account, and then you won't have any ads. So, just something to think about. No, but I have not had that beer. It definitely sounds like something I would love to try. And if you can get your hands on it and want to trade it with us for some American beer, I'm more than willing to do that.
Yep.
So that is definitely something. Again, we're working on a beer trade for the channel. So if you're interested in trading beer, stay tuned. We're working on it. It's gonna happen. All right. So I ended up looking up. I was looking at articles to talk about today, and I've been listening to some beer podcasts that have given me some inspiration, which actually reminds me of something else that, by the way, that I'm going to be doing.
Uh-oh.
I am going to be creating dramatic pause, right, for the effect. A Under the Suds voicemail line.
Okay.
So, if you have something you want to call and leave a voicemail about, whether you're talking about a beer that you're drinking, whether or not you're just hanging out at a pub and you're like, God damn, I want to let them know what's going on. Alpha, thank you for that follow. Do appreciate it. You will be able to dial into this line and leave me a message. And once a month, I'm going to go through the messages to find the
best one?
Best messages.
Oh, man.
We're going to fucking play them on the air.
We're going to get drunk dialed? Is that what's going to happen?
You can drunk dial me all you goddamn want.
Oh, shit.
That is it. So we're going to be setting up a Under the Suds voicemail. It's going to go direct to voicemail. It's not going to ring my phone, by the way. I'm sorry. Not going to happen. But we're setting up a line directly for you guys to contact us and leave us a message. And when we find hear the Once a month I'm gonna be going through all the messages and finding the best ones, and we will go and either answer your questions, play your fucking funny messages,
Oh man.
and
Or beer review.
or hey, if you have a review you want to give us, a beer you want to suggest, dial into that number. I'm gonna be setting up probably. I'm gonna be on holiday next week, and so maybe I'll be able to set it up next week. We'll see. So we'll announce the number for everybody to dial next week. And obviously, this is going to be going through Google Voice. So I don't know how that affects or if it applies to international costs. So
should be fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty good about that, but I don't know. There's always variables.
Yeah, so if you are overseas, you want to dial us, that's cool. Just understand you're probably going to hit because of some long distance fees. Definitely love to hear from you. Anyway, we're going to whiskey tasting on Friday. Oh, Jesus.
Call us up then. You seem like you're in prime shape for that.
Sounds like a prime time to dial that number. I got to get that going. I'm gonna get it going tonight. So you, real clone, you can call us up on a Friday and tell us about your experience whiskey tasting.
Yeah. Wasted on a whiskey coming out with a real thick Irish accent would be fucked.
That would be awesome.
What is he saying?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I've never been to Ireland. I'm sad to say that, right? But I have a passable Irish accent, I think, when I'm absolutely shit faced, and I only think it's passable
because you're drunk.
Because I'm drunk.
But
man, I was where was I? I was at my cousin's wedding. It was years ago before I met my wife, and I was at this pub and this airline stewardess. Oh, dude, I'm get that. I'm Irish. I fluently drunk. Please don't do it.
Just don't bring out the Gaelic.
I'm not gonna try. But I had this fucking airline stewardess convinced I was from Ireland, and
she's pulling it. She's like, yeah, sure, great. That's a really good accent. No, are you from there?
She's completely drunk too, so it was fine.
The stewardess is drunk?
Of course.
They always are. You're right.
Voice messages from drunk people. Yeah, I got a question for you. What bottles stick my dick in?
Nice.
If that's
for you, Toaster.
If that's a message you want to leave, Toaster, by all means, that is all you, dude. But I'll play it for you.
Play right back.
Like I said, the best messages, whether or not it's just absolutely ridiculous or drunk dial, or you want to ask a question, it is going to happen.
Of course, there are limits, but yes.
You have to imagine the voice of a drunk Scottish dwarf from Lord of the Rings or something.
I'm sorry, I never heard of a dwarf without a Scottish accent.
I know. Anyway, where was I talking about? Oh yeah, the line. Right. So
we crossed it? I remember.
No, yeah, we went past that a long time ago.
Got it.
You get another one saying you can't get the bottle off. That shit's stuck.
That's so good. I don't want to break it.
Oh no! I know. I'm opening up a goddamn can of worms, and it's
a
bottle on purpose because I think it's a bottle of worms. Yes, because cans would hurt.
A bottle of worm. What kind of worm? That's up to you.
I don't want to. Hey now.
Tequila worm.
I think you spelled squirrel wrong. I think it's only one R. But it's okay, Toaster. Just drink some more mead. You'll be good.
You'll add another R. That'll be a problem.
All right. So anyway, I was speaking about craft breweries. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, beer podcasts, and probably listen. I don't hear anything. It's failing. And by the way, if you want to ever play any sound effects, they're down in the channel, the profile stuff below the links. As I drink more in the evening, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the hell I'm saying half the time anyway. So, anyway, we were going through some
segments,
attempting to at least, and failing drastically. All right. So there was a cutoff list I saw someone had mentioned that the brewery, which is a very big, high-ranked
Oh,
brewery,
it's
a
called the brewery. Sorry.
the brewery sold out to an
No,
independent investor.
that's fine.
But this independent investor is known to yes, the brewery. Thank you. That is definitely spelling, Rick.
Ooh, thank you.
Is known to take they've bought up like soda companies and flipped them, and then they sold them to Coca-Cola. So, with
Interesting.
their investment in the brewery, right? What are they going to do? That's the big question. So I was listening to some podcasts. It actually I'll hype them up. The Perfect Pour, right? The Perfect Pour is a fantastic podcast. If you've never listened to them, if you haven't listened to a podcast, they are awesome. I thoroughly enjoy them, and I guarantee that these guys are absolutely shit-faced while they're doing it. One guy sounds like he's been drinking since 11 o'clock in the morning.
Since the last podcast.
Since the last podcast.
Yeah.
But they're absolutely funny. I'm gonna keep up one of my last bottles of Black Tuesday. What's Black Tuesday? It's from the brewery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes, it's one that looks like a big old dollar sign. I saw it today.
And then recently there was also the sellout of Wicked Weed, which is people were really pissed off about that, obviously, because
Lagunitas just got sold out to Heineken.
But amazingly, have you guys ever had moonshine?
Yes.
Listen to Steal This Beer. It's great to Augie. Oh, really? The guys from Carton? Yeah. Yes. I've had some moonshine. TJ was here earlier. He's from West Virginia. He's like moonshine king.
Shine country. I had moonshine once.
But yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Couldn't review it. Sorry.
Because we have something like it over here, but it's called. I don't know how to pronounce that. Punchaline? Puchaline? Puchaline? Yeah. No idea. Hell yeah. Yeah. Good luck saying. Yeah. Podcast with the owner of Carton Brewery. Joe, I gotta look that up now, because I've been listening to podcasts as driving to work. But
of course,
it's
nice.
Made with potatoes, of course, as it should be.
Yeah.
You know. All right. So I found a list though of breweries that are basically, it's called the cutoff list. Some of these breweries I did not even know had sold out to larger brewing like Anheuser AB InBev. Right. So I knew Goose Island. I knew Kona. They're a Hawaiian brewery. If you never had their beer. Funny thing about Kona, it was in Hawaii. I was at their brewery, and the bartender was at the brewery. It's like, make sure while you're here, do not drink anything of ours out of bottle, which is kind of weird for me to hear from them, because they actually their mainstay stuff like their longboard and whatnot, that is all brewed in the the greater 48, and then shipped back to fucking Hawaii.
That's so weird.
So, very confusing. But that the brewery itself, they said that anything that's brewed here is brewed by the brewers without any issues with
any influence
or from AB InBev.
That's awesome.
Omission is a brewery I actually just found. It's a gluten-free brewery. And I was at a thing this weekend on Sunday, and the one girl was gluten-free, so I went out and searched it, and Omission was there. I had no idea they were part of the AB InBev conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
Red Hook.
Yep.
Red Hook.
Is that from Connecticut as well?
I don't know where they're from.
I think so.
Widmer Brothers, Blue Point, 10 Barrel, which I've never heard of. Elysian, which I was surprised about. I didn't know they had sold out to a larger company. Goldenrod, Four Peaks, Breckenridge, which I heard about.
Really?
Very fucking sad about.
Yeah.
Because they did some fantastic beers.
Yeah.
Carbosh, never heard of them. I think they're out of Texas, it looks like. And the only place they distribute to is Texas. This one on the list, obviously Wicked Weed is on this list. But this one I was very shocked about because I had just did an interview with this brewery not too long after I guess this happened. But Devil's Backbone.
Really?
Yeah, out of Virginia.
Wow,
I looked it up. And it's a shame because I don't know how I feel about this, and I guess that's kind of what Golden Road. Yes, thank you. I've been drinking.
It happens.
Yes, definitely been drinking.
Well, all right.
That's the way we do it. So I don't know how I feel about some of these breweries, selling out. Like, I really enjoyed Devil's Backbone's beer, right? Some of the stuff they brought that they had at the brewery. Heidi was super nice. She seemed super enthusiastic about what they were doing and how they were planning on expanding their brewery. Building an area
this
where
poor gentleman used to speak in long, eloquent sentences, but after years of drinking, he can only speak in short, choppy utterances.
Sometimes.
I had no idea why you stopped talking until I looked at the chat. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're right.
That is a fantastic sound effect, by the way. And like Breckenridge, right? Breckenridge still does some fucking amazing goddamn beer.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about it? I'm just kind of curious. You guys in chat and Drew. How do you feel about like Wicked Weed is supposed to be doing some amazing beers? I may have had it once or twice.
Yeah.
But there are people who literally boycott this stuff because they've sold out. But,
I used to. And kind of still do. But that's on the pure basis of what Budweiser used to do in the past to breweries.
Right.
But that was based off the old distribution system for beer. That distributors were owned by usually Budweiser.
Yeah.
And you would get favored by Budweiser if you were either bought by them or affiliated, or were like strong armed by like lawsuits. Like was it the pumpkin beer or whatever from or pumpkin beer from Dogfish Head? I guess. Yeah. Budweiser tried to sue them for using the term pumpkin as a common name.
Really?
Well, because they obviously look into it that it wasn't pumpkin, it was punkkin, P-U-N-K.
Which is also one of my favorite beers they do.
It's pretty good.
I love that as a pumpkin beer.
But there's a documentary out there called Beer Wars. I think it's all basically based off of basically Budweiser buying out other breweries and like sort of strong arming them into essentially submission of like buying their company.
Yeah.
And either liquidating the brewery as in selling it off or destroying it, or taking like they can either go as far as liquefying, so getting rid of the brewery, it's the whole thing, like just getting rid of it, stopping the process, or just as simple as buying it to help distribution and overall like profit, which is okay, I'd imagine, because there. I haven't had Goose Island. That's from Chicago. The only time I had that is when Goose Island sold to Budweiser, opened up their distribution, and now I can get it in Vermont. That's great. I can get better beer. Like I know I've had beer. I can get beer that I've never had before from their distribution.
Right.
But then there's other causes that they can change the recipe, bring in cheaper ingredients to make it essentially a cheaper product, but it's at the same cost.
Right.
which is kind of a big. If you're, I don't know, when you review beer or sort of when I worked at a brewery, you sort of had to learn to taste beer for a living and pick up those flavors. You can tell the difference between a cheap ingredient and an expensive ingredient, and you sort of don't want your favorite beer to be sort of downgraded, which they have done in the past in some beers.
But I think with all these recent buyouts of breweries, it obviously is a strategic move to fight back to against craft beers, and it's right, Joe. You're right. The goal is to destroy craft breweries. You know, it's one of those things. They realize that they're losing money to craft beers, and they're going and finding breweries that they could convince to actually just buy their brewery so they can just, you know, have a lovely little profile of, here's the brewers that we own here, you know. That's not our piss water bullshit beer. And to answer your question, Real Clone, it does taste different in the U.S. than Europe.
What
And
beer?
Budweiser, Bud tastes different in the U.S. than it does in Europe, because actually it's in Europe it's actually brewed at a higher alcohol level than what they're actually you actually can get it here.
Interesting.
And it's still shit. I mean, but what was the original one out of the Czech Republic? It was the Budweiser, right?
Oh yeah,
That's the one that was like
Budweiser.
that
Yeah,
was like the recipe that Budweiser, or that was the original version of it, I think. If I'm not mistaken, beer. You know, I've been drinking for a little while here.
Yep.
Actually, only an hour. I need more beer. But yeah, but that beer itself, the original like Budweiser or whatever it was in Czech Republic, tastes completely different than what the swill we get over here. And I'll even go out on a line and say that the Budweiser over in Europe tastes a lot better than the shit they put in cans over here. So, will I drink it when I go over there? Fuck no. I got tons of great options for European beer. You know, when I've been to England, when I've been to Italy, you know, even though Italian beer is, you know, mostly crappy, there is one Italian brewer who came to the U.S. and did a whole tour during Philly Beer Week, which is, by the way, is next week. And if you're in this area, definitely go check it out. I'm not going to be around, sadly. I'll be surfing in the beach down in Stone Harbor, so that'll be me. Hey man, I will come to when I come to Ireland. I'll do a pub crawl with you, by all means, man. That'd be fucking genius. Europe, England, and when I was in England, I remember I was there, and the one time I was staying in Waltham Abbey, had like 10 pubs within like a 2 block radius, you know, and it was pretty fucking awesome. I drank at every single one of them, and then, watched football, you know, English football, like soccer here, for hours on end, which was great. But I don't know how I feel about it sometimes, you know, because like Wicked Weed, I don't remember having any of their beer, but people rave about it. I mean, Joe, you said you boycott it, right? But why are you boycotting it? Because they sold out, and you're worried about it? I guess you're boycotting because they sold out.
I don't know. I've started boycotting recently because of mainly what I think Gabe Gonzo posted this on Twitter once and linked you and I in it. I put the link in chat. It's I guess Anheuser-Busch is shutting down craft brewers. Well, essentially hoarding hops from, I think, South Africa, or like one of the
South Africa or South America.
I think maybe South America. South Africa.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess this where the hop producer in South Africa produces 1.81 million pounds of hops I guess each year.
Oh wow.
and I guess they're trying. I not sort of just started reading this article, but if that, I once again didn't really check out the legitimacy of this article, but if that seems to be true, that's a bit shitty. Like just to like,
Oh yeah.
in order to like, usually they used to sort of go after the company. Now they can't really do that with how they used to be doing it. Now they started going by, sort of taking out the wind of the sails of the craft brewers by taking out their hops.
But there, there's a lot of hops that we use here. I mean, doesn't
Absolutely.
it's not just. I mean, even if they try to crowd out other craft brewers from getting these hops. I mean, look what they're doing with stuff with like, these are all American style variety hops for these New England IPAs, and it's if you want to brew a certain style, you can't get it. You can substitute and create something brand new, I guess.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
It's I mean, it's not surprising. It's definitely not surprising that a company like that would even stoop that low. Of course they would.
Right.
It's they were the wheelhouse of the American culture for years. And as far as beer wise, everybody was drinking the swill that they would distribute to us. Right. There was very small amounts of breweries that fought back. Boston Beer Company was one of the guys that do Sam Adams. And I kind of remember that when I was in college. Like there was, you see Budweiser, Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors, Sam Adams Lager, Sam Adams Honey Wheat, which I loved, and I don't think there was anything. I can't find it anymore. I don't even think they actually brew it. And now, by the way, if I probably tasted it, I'd probably like, what am I drinking? Bass Ale, Heineken, Guinness. And I would always stick to like the honey wheat, the lager, Boston Lager, and the Bass Ale when I was going out to clubs and shit like that. When I used to do that type of stuff. But because again, the stuff that they were showing us, they're the mass producers of beer in the American market. And they feel very threatened by what they're experiencing here.
Yeah, I'm just perfect timing. I'm looking up on Forbes right now that last year the I guess InBev was at 47.6% of the beer market.
Yep.
And they dropped 2% of their overall sales. I believe this year so far. And I guess they're going to be, obviously, reading this, they're going to be improving their craft market, probably through buying other breweries or some sort like that.
Oh yeah.
Which is only about 2% of their sort of revenue is from their craft beers that they own, which is not a whole lot actually, but still, if they try to sort of get into that beer market, that's exploding.
Yeah, they definitely. They I mean, that's their goal is to challenge what other people are doing.
Absolutely.
Why is this not coming up properly? It's weird. The Forbes article just not loading for me at all. But I was looking at their stock. Like, I don't think I would never invest in this. I don't care how. I mean, $116 per share. Sorry, I'm going off on the thing. I've been big on stocks recently, but like. I would never invest into their company. I am looking for whoever's going to be selling the marijuana when it is it's illegal in the United States. So if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. So I'll buy into that instead of this.
Vermont just vetoed it. Boo.
Wow. Could be worse.
This is true.
Continue on. Oh, there we go. And okay, this year. I was kind of reading this pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean that's their reason for buying these breweries.
Absolutely.
I mean and it's another interesting thing, like craft beer in like IPA specifically in China are a huge boom.
Yeah. Japan too.
You have like brewers shipping stuff over to China because people in China are just loving the craft beer industry that's over here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it that way as well. I mean, they might be thinking to themselves, hey, I'm going to take that beer and I'm going to ship it over to buy these brewers up and ship it over to China for them to drink and hang out and do whatever they need to do with it. But it's a gold mine for them as far as a new market for beer.
Absolutely.
So business wise, it makes sense. It sucks for craft brewers, hands down.
Well, great for the owner, of course, because you're selling your sort of life's work and making probably a good penny on it. But then you could possibly lose sort of creative control.
Yeah.
And your sort of quality of the product could change, but it's sort of not in your hands anymore.
Yeah.
As well as the person buying that beer could not experience that beer being the same as it used to be like 5 years ago. I remember when Magic Hat, before and after they sold to Pyramid, which is a bigger distributor, which is sort of the people who make Genesee Cream Ale.
Yeah.
They have a beer called Number 9.
Yeah. Number 9 was fantastic. I loved it.
Back in the day before they sold it, it was so fruity. It was extremely fruity. Big on this the apricot that they add to this Hefeweizen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what it is. But it's sort of very juicy, very fruitful. I don't know, it's all up in your face with this flavor. And then after they sold, you can tell a huge difference because it became very sweet, too sweet even. And then I think there's a bit of backlash that happened in Vermont anyways about this beer changing so drastically that they went back to a different recipe and it was so subdued completely. They just used less of the apricots.
Really?
Yep.
That's a shame.
And I believe that beer, the reason why they changed it is because that brewery in Burlington would make 6 different versions of Number 9 to appease different states in the U.S. I think so it could be sold in Alabama. It had to be under 4%. To be sold in Texas, it had to be under a certain percent, and
that sucks.
Couldn't have certain bits of like X, Y, and Z sugar in it, or something weird like that. So they made different varieties. So when Pyramid bought it, they changed the recipe to make it more universal. So they had to do all these altercations.
Wow. But you notice they're not on this list, and neither is Lagunitas or God damn it, who does Sculpin? Who does Sculpin? Ballast Point. They're not on this list as far as like breweries that sold out. This whole cutoff list does not include those breweries. And,
okay.
I mean, I'm kind of glad about that because I really like Ballast Point.
Yep.
And I really do like Lagunitas.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a concern for the market there. And we talked about this as several shows like way back. I do believe that there is a possibility that a conglomerate of breweries could get together to fight as under one like label, I guess.
Kind of like a union of sorts.
Well, I guess so. I mean, Stone has a very wide distribution area, right?
Yeah.
If Stone, like, say, linked up with the Chamonix Creek and I don't know, a few other breweries from around the world, around the nation here, U.S., and then they used Stone as the distribution, because that's what they're. I think a lot of these people really just want to try to get their beer out to different people, you know, and that's their goal. I don't know if it's like a financial type of decision here. Like, I'm going to make more money because of I'm selling out. Maybe it's just like I want my beer to be enjoyed by multiple people. I don't know. I could always call up Heidi. She always said I could call up and talk to her about something, so maybe I will. Maybe that will be a future episode. We'll sit there and see if we can get Heidi coming on. Be like, hey, we hung out with you. what was the intention? What was the idea behind? I'm not gonna put her on a spot. I'm gonna make sure she knows that this is the reason why we're talking to her.
Yeah.
You know, and then kind of get her on the phone maybe and say, hey, what was the thought process of this?
Yeah.
So, because I kind of, you know, it's nice having that avenue that I can sit there and say, hey, tell me why, you know, you would sell out your beer to, you know, such a Trump-like organization.
And from my past of working at a brewery, you do look at Budweiser as that company, like almost like a not big brother, but like that kind of feeling. Like there's a big old tower guy just trying to chase you down or squish you.
Right.
And it could be a rough sort of why you sold out, but like it's more like what your benefits you got out of it. Like if it wasn't for distribution, which they probably say it would be for, because that's usually what's going to happen.
Or even just national distribution.
Yeah, sure.
It comes down to.
Yeah.
You know.
It is interesting because it could be as simple as make money, get out of it, be retired earlier. It could be as like, I want to share this craft, this art that we've created and sort of get it sort of more out there. So I don't know. It can go either way. And I can respect either decision. But what always throws me for a loop is the unknowing of like what could happen to your product or your future, the product you created.
That's true. You don't want to be dulled down like we were saying before. You know. And
if they keep the beer, okay. But more than likely they're not going to keep the beer because Budweiser itself is a beer based off of rice sugar.
Right.
Yeah. So like they go for the cheapest route for their beer. They can't really do that for most craft beers because that's very expensive.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, it's always a challenge. I don't know how I feel about it, especially with Elysian, and Breckenridge. You know, I wasn't aware of Elysian being bought out by them until I read this article, or even Devil's Backbone. I was just like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
When were they sold out, or when did they?
2016 was when Devil's Backbone sold out, and the Elysian was 2015. So,
is a possibility that they already were acquired before your interview?
Yeah, it was. They totally were, because I didn't do that. I can look and see how long ago that interview was. Let's see, man, because that makes me feel bad. I mean, obviously, I mean, again, I like what they did, you know, and that's why I'm kind of at odds with this. You know, it's let's see, we'll go all the way back to that interview with Heidi, and you know, maybe that's one of the reasons why it kind of makes sense to me now. I remember when I was when I was in there and talking about the interview with her, they said they wanted to. This shit was back in like March 2017.
Yep, something like that.
In March, so they had been acquired by this before, but like the person I contacted, right, which makes sense now, right? They said they wanted to field the questions first, maybe because they were concerned that I was going to ask some questions about
Budweiser,
about why they were bought out.
Yeah, because that is a hard question to hear, or to, like, try to answer as a craft beer brewer, or to hear that happening as a drinker, because that has such a hard thing to it.
But
that being said,
so cool.
Absolutely, you know? Yes, that was great. But like, once again, as a brewer, knowing the stigma of being acquired, I don't sort of like overusing the word sold out, because it's very negative, but sometimes it doesn't really have that stigma of being acquired by this company. Why would you do it? Like, it can hurt you so bad.
Yeah. And maybe that's one of the reasons why they wanted to, you know, not not wanting to field the questions, and it kind of makes sense now to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had no clue until I was reading this article today that they were bought out. You know, and it was, and it's kind of sad to me, and I'll say it because she was super nice, right?
Yeah.
What she was talking about with what they wanted to do with their brewery, right? Their brewery in Virginia was at the end of a hiking trail, and they wanted to put like a camping area right behind the brewery. Think about that. How fucking cool is that shit, right? I'm gonna go camping.
Long Trail has that.
What?
Long Trail.
Long Trail has that? Well,
Yep.
all right.
They're based off of the Long Trail and the Appalachian Trail. They're a stop right there. It's like right on the river. It's crazy.
We're gonna have to do that part of the hike then. I think
Absolutely.
we've hiked not majority, a lot of the Appalachian Trail, different parts of the states. But I had no idea Long Trail was on that. But we'll get to that. But I mean, now it makes, as we're talking about it, makes more sense now why they wanted to actually, you know, preview the questions, you know, which is kind of sad, but hey, shit happens.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't mean I don't like their beer.
No.
Doesn't mean that I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of, there's a toss up with me, really, to be honest with you.
Knowing this, will you drink their beer? I would, if I was you, I'd drink it less. But yeah, I'll go to it once in a while and be like, nope, not gonna cut them off completely.
Here's the thing. In the beer they're distributing up here, right, is the Vienna Lager,
Okay.
their Gold Leaf Lager.
Okay.
Out of the four that they distribute in Pennsylvania, Vienna Lager, 8-point IPA, Gold Lager, and Kilt Flasher.
Yep.
I actually really like their Kilt Flasher.
I really like that name.
Yeah, it is kind of fun, right? But I haven't gone out of my way to go buy them since we've done. Don't do it. Escape in time. Nice, Joe. I like that. That's a good one. No, I mean I don't think I would buy their beer.
Okay.
I mean it was good. It wasn't anything I was to fucking write home about, right? They had some specialty stuff over there that I guess they brought from the brewery, which you can't get here, and that was better than the ones they distribute here. So,
okay.
I think, I mean, there's so many other beers that I could drink in this area that I don't necessarily need to.
Right.
Although I know, Joe, you say boycott Wicked Weed, but I've never had Wicked Weed. So
yeah,
since I've never had it, I wouldn't mind trying it. You know, what's up, Crowded Kitchen? How are you, man? But I wouldn't mind trying it, at least once, maybe before it becomes tainted into this chaos that is the buyout, the sellouts of the craft brewer industry. So, but I don't know. It's a little bit disconcerting. I had other things to talk about tonight too, by the way, but I don't know. We've talked about this for so long. I did want to bring up one article, and nice stream as always. Thank you, Dark Hair Beauty. I do appreciate it. We are here for you.
Yeah.
Because we love you guys. You guys are great. So, Toaster, this one, if you're listening and not playing video games, this one, I'll give you one of my old stouts of theirs and porter. Joe, I'm not going to say no, by the way. I'm not going to say no. We'll figure out something I can send you. Toaster, if you're listening, I know you're on, but if you're listening, this topic is specifically for you. This is going to be probably a short comment, but I found this today and I was like, I want to talk about it because of Toaster. In Germany, there is a a hard rock metal festival that has a 7-kilometer long beer pipeline to
Yes.
deliver 400,000 liters of beer. Of course,
saw
this. This is all in European metrics, which I don't know how to convert.
I can tell you weight. I can't tell you distance.
There was a wait. I'm bringing this up real fast, but I saw this. Wacken, yes, it is the Wacken Festival. Exactly. I saw this article and I thought exactly for you, brother. Yeah, they're actually building a pipeline, for beer. Again, a 4-mile long pipeline to the festival, just to deliver beer
to a festival.
To the festival.
Wow. I know there was one in a brewery in
Wacken?
Germany that
Wacken?
just.
I don't know. I do my best. I don't know
That
how to
one.
pronounce it right.
There's a brewery that did just like construct almost a oil-sized pipeline of beer.
Is that Germany or was that in Belgium?
Could be Belgium. Most likely Belgium. They're close enough. Hashtag America.
What was that old pun? And apologize to everybody. I'm part German, so I can say this. It's one of those
I'm
things.
half German.
It was Germany was hungry for Turkey during World War II.
Excuse me. Let me just go ahead and do this real quick.
Thank you.
I'm working on it.
But you're also probably hungry for dad joke. Is that actually a fucking thing down there? I don't even know. I don't think that is.
Be.
No, but it's bad joke, dude. You totally misspelled that.
Oh, you're right. It is a bad joke. I'm not wrong.
Oh man, as the night goes along, that's when it gets more fun.
right.
So, or at least that's what I tell myself when I have nightmares. But yeah, no, it's.
You think it's bad now? If you guys ever see us at a
Thank
freaking
you.
convention, it gets absolutely a shit show.
Oh yeah,
Puns come out.
was
Dad
pretty
jokes are awry.
Oh yeah. No, actually, wait. Type. Hold on, just want to do it. Type exclamation point, dad.
I'm not going to hear it, but I'll type it anyways.
Oh, he doesn't smell like Irish Spring, and he never taught me anything. But still,
I love
serve
not
my
hearing
chest
it, just
to
so you
think
do
of my
that
drunk
for
and
no reason.
Irish dad.
It's great. That's my favorite thing.
Oh, that was a good one. I love that one. So, dad jokes. But yeah, Toaster, I wanted to bring that up because I thought you would love that. Yeah, the German like metal festival. I live for the soul-crushing despair of puns caused in people. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So we will talk beer trading soon. Good night, Joe. We will see you soon. Thank you for being here, man. We'll definitely talk about beer trade.
But speaking of beer trade, and since Crowded Kitchen's here,
Yes.
I'm gonna be sending out that mushroom beer, the first Iron Brewer beer. It is bottled. I drank it yesterday and the day before, and maybe the day before that.
So, did you send out the
good.
packages yet?
No, they're in boxes. I just gotta get your address, which I still have in Discord somewhere back in the ether.
Dude, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not going to be here next week.
That's fine.
Hold off.
Okay.
Because I have some kid watching my house, and I don't know what
You'll
he's
love
going to fucking do with it, and I want to leave it outside. So hold off for me.
Okay.
When I get back I get back on Saturday the 10th. If you want to ship it out anytime after that, I will be here for it. But I don't want this kid being like, "What's this box?" and then drop it. You know, it's just
There's beer here,
there's
sweet.
beer. I normally leave this guy beer anyway, so.
Okay.
Oh really? Jesus.
But did you
Wacken?
What?
Wacken Open Air Festival sell out in a day. They become oh wow, that's kick ass.
I believe it. But I think it would be a pretty awesome idea to get we can do a beer review of this beer with you, me, and Crowded Kitchen.
That would be fun. Crowded Kitchen, want to come on and talk about the mushroom beer?
As he says, I'm touching myself. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, the anticipation. I expect nothing less from you, brother. So that's what it comes down to, that shit. So, but yeah, that's a fantastic idea. I think we should do that.
Yeah.
We'll have to work that out. I'm excited to taste this beer.
It's good. The mushroom quality sort of dipped after carbonation, but it's still there. It's a
Okay.
strong mushroom finish, but it's a good balanced beer.
I know Anne's gonna be like, I would like to taste some of this.
Can I try that?
Daughter slammed her face in the counter. Give me a minute. She was
Oh,
too excited too. Ooh,
oh my god!
ouch! Painful, painful.
Gotta keep
Um,
those teeth.
yeah. You know, I need to get together with speaking of being
Collabs.
too excited, but I need to get together with Cuddles from who is also the Game Escape.
Nice.
We've talked about this. I talked about this last week, but I want to convert this into a podcast. I think, and I think that would be fun because I've been listening to podcasts, beer podcasts, and it really is just basically we are spot on. What it comes down to. I mean, it is just a bunch of drunk people just talking about beer. I mean, I like the Perfect Pour. I love their podcast, right? But they don't even go in as much detail as we do.
Right.
So, hey.
Have you ever listened to the Brewing Network?
I think so.
They are more of a homebrew based podcast, but they do a lot of beer news as well.
Okay.
They have about, I think, 6 to 8 people on hand, kind of thing. They have like a sound guy. It's real hoity-toity and very sort of well done.
Okay.
But they go into very good detail in homebrewing. It's kind of where I got my sort of not start, but like my interest in sort of the techniques of brewing. Because half of them also work at More Beer. The other ones are all like acclaimed homebrewers that won X amount of competitions.
Okay.
So they have a lot of good knowledge behind them. A lot of good actual professional brewers guest star there a lot. I would highly recommend checking them out too.
Watch this few. Okay. Toaster. If I watch this and I put this up on the thing,
Let me check it.
Is
I'll
there
check
any weird stuff in here that I can?
I'll check it out real quick.
No. Crowded Kitchen. It's Zoom. You have to install Zoom. That's how I set up a conference call. I parse everything out. All you have to do is log on.
There's a sex stall.
Okay, I'm not gonna play that video, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm definitely not gonna do it. I will watch that later. I don't know what Twitch is gonna do if I
no nips on Twitch.
What?
It's no nips on Twitch. It's against their policy.
Credit. I'll send you a link in a little bit of Zoom. If you look up Zoom video conferencing,
It's like a browser based Skype.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to use. You can even use your cell phone if you wanted to. My brother Scott actually logged on with Zoom on his cell phone and does reviews. So, all right. I didn't say put it on stream. I just said check it out. I never cover it with you. Okay. I will wait until after the broadcast. Speaking of which, I think it's probably a good time to end. I'm out of beer. God damn it.
I'm still going through mine. It is warm, but it's still good.
Yeah.
The chocolate and coffee notes sort of dropped out. You have more of that, just the end dark fruit flavor.
Yeah.
I'm still loving it. It's a good warm beer.
We're gonna put on some ending music.
All right.
Guys, we'll be back next week. Actually, next week I will be in where the fuck am I gonna be? Stone Harbor, New Jersey on holiday, but I'm gonna be bringing my laptop. We're gonna be broadcasting. What the fuck? Shit just ended. We'll be broadcasting one way or another, and also we're gonna be doing a live broadcast. I'm thinking from Cape May Brewing Company sometime this week. What?
I've been to Cape May Brewing Company.
Have you? All right, cool.
It's
awesome.
awesome.
My friend Kevin works there, and I told him to come down.
Nice.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to get any specific interviews because Savor and Philly Beer Week is happening next week.
That's me insane.
But I know, and I'm missing the entire thing. It's okay. I'm gonna be going down surfing for a week, so I'm not gonna complain.
You're gonna be sore as fuck.
No, dude, I've been surfing since I was 12.
What was the last one surfing?
You see that little golden thing up there?
How old are you?
I was 12 when I
All
started.
right. No, how old is that? How old is that trophy?
The trophy's not that. It's not even something
Last
that I've been
year is
won,
what
by
you
the
said.
way. A friend of mine gave that to me. It's a surfing trophy though. It actually says 4th place women's on it. By the way. So.
Okay.
But anyway, we're gonna be down there. So we're gonna be doing a live broadcast from there somehow, some way. I'm not sure if it's gonna be before Under the Suds or after Under the Suds. We'll figure it out. But keep that in mind.
Can I give a little shout out?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Not tomorrow because I'm working, but I believe the next day I will be brewing that amber ale. I was gonna do it last week, but family things happen. But I'm planning on doing a extract kit right here. Boom. It's a extract kit for more beer. It's a amber ale that I'm going to be doing a giveaway for as well. So I'll be brewing it on Friday.
Okay.
Yes, and then I think I'll be starting up the giveaway there.
Nice.
And the giveaway will take place end of June, maybe end of July. All depends.
Okay.
But it's going to be based off bit raffles, where I don't know I still got to figure out the details of bit prices for a legit raffle ticket that I'll put into a jar, because let's go analog with this shit. Why go digital?
Hell, why not?
Who needs another bot to take care of your damn stream?
No, we're just gonna send you a ticket in mail. It's gonna cost us like $7 to send a small little ticket.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick a little ticket out of the jar, and winner gets a extract kit. Because there are a lot of people who ask about like, how can I start brewing? What do I need? So I'm gonna be brewing sort of on the basic equipment, sort of fermenting in a bucket, not a carboy. If I can boil at half the 2.5 gallons, not the full 5 gallons, but sort of to teach sort of the starting elements of brewing beer, opposed to like my crazy technical terms that I throw out all the time when I brew beer.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And then I believe after this stream here, I'm going to be joining Simply Jackson and Mythmatic and playing a new game called Witchit. Witchit, which is a game based off of a mod on Half-Life called Prop Hunt.
Oh.
Yeah. So just sort of play around with that.
Definitely check that out after we're done here. That'll be fun. Wait, I have to ask. I'll be online.
Yes.
You still playing that?
I'm going to be. I'm doing half that, half Elder Scrolls.
I've been looking at it, like when I saw you playing it, and I was just like, you know what? It's one of those things I know that I could spend a lot of time in.
It's free to play. It will be.
But I just know that I just don't have a lot of time.
You have a son.
The boy takes up a ton of shit, a ton of my time.
Absolutely. That game is a grind fest. Because
Yeah,
when you die, you lose all your shit. You have to recraft it all back.
That's
Yeah, I mean, like if you're into crafting, it's a great game for you. But if you lose it all, you're kind of fucked.
Oh my god, yeah, it sounds like something I just want to like say, go screw yourself. I'm not gonna do it.
It could be a major
tired
range.
of doing it.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's do a quick host here. Our friend who we both Drew and I met at PAX East, Asian Invasion.
Nice.
My boy Ting.
Enter the Gungeon.
I guess that's what he's doing. I have no idea. I saw his name. I saw what he was doing. I just want to give him give him props. So let's give him a quick old host. Guys, thank you very much. We'll be back here on Wednesday. With Under the Suds from Stone Harbor, maybe with some lobster or some crab or some shit like that, or some seafood. So, all right, we're gonna go.
Like lobster and crab isn't seafood.
Yeah,
Maybe lobster and crab or some seafood. Who knows?
Yeah, whatever. It's late. I'm gonna go get myself another beer.
I got you. Me too.
Yeah, guys, go definitely check out. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. Bum. As I fail at everything, ladies and gentlemen.
It's fine. It's just covered up with a beer song. No one knows. It's fine.
No one knows. Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
Just focus on the beer sign.
Don't listen to the man behind the curtain. Oh my god. I'm a fucking.
Hooligans, get over here. Where you go?
Could be worse. Go give some love to Asian Division. He's a good guy. We met him at PAX. Love his face. All right, guys. We'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you very much for joining us. And we will be doing this as a highlight. So if you are just joining us, you can always watch the past episodes. Have a good night. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. See you later. Woo!
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 Alright. Yeah. I don't know. Yep. Where's that stop button? Oh, there it is. Good night, guys.